Persistent toxic substances or persistent bioaccumulative toxins contain chemicals that enable them to resist environmental degradation, such as PCBs, pesticides, heavy metals, and radioactive waste. This classifies them as persistent and can accumulate in soil and aquatic environments. Animals and organisms are more likely to be exposed to chemicals if not easily degraded in the environment. To living organisms, they cause birth defects and travel through the marine life food chain. These chemicals are released from the use of disposal of many consumer products, cosmetic and personal care products, medical products, building products, and industrial sources. Water pollution has a huge impact on abiotic components and biotic aspects of marine life. In the abiotic components, oxygen content is affected by being reduced greatly if it is being polluted by an organic source such as sewage. Usually, the amount of dissolved oxygen determines the amount of organisms and what organisms live in that area. If it is less oxygen dissolved, less organisms will live in that body of water, greatly affecting the food chain. Temperature is another abiotic factor that is affected by water pollution. If there was a toxic substance, such as radioactive waste, that has a different temperature, it would act as a thermal pollutant, changing living conditions and killing organisms that can't survive in these conditions. Biotic aspects that are affected by water pollution are aquatic foods, phytoplankton, and zooplankton. As they start to decrease in numbers due to toxic substances, their importance in the food chain shows. With this decrease in aquatic foods is a decrease in the food supply for whales, shrimp, small fish, and sea stars. This means animals higher in the food chain will starve because they have less phytoplankton and zooplankton to eat. Another part of biotic life that is affected by water pollution is sea plants. These plants are killed because the toxic substances will alter their growth, reproduction, and many other life functions. These plants are shelters for many fish in the ecosystem. With less shelters produced, many organisms won't have homes and places to protect themselves from dangerous prey. Humans are responsible because certain things like toys, plastics, building parts, oil, light bulbs, shampoo, and anything else that was created by man ends up in the ocean. It is our job to stop pollution and erase pollution out of our marine environment.
The biggest effect is coming from the TSCA, the primary law overseeing the safety of chemical products. The Toxic Substance Control Act was passed in 1976 and provides the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency authority to review and regulate chemicals in commerce. The TSCA was designed to ensure that products are safe for their intended use. While the law created a robust system of regulations, over time, confidence in the Environmental Protection Agency regulation of chemicals has eroded. The TSCA addresses the production, importation, use, and disposal of specific chemicals including PCBs, radon, and lead-based paint. The oxygen content is affected by pollution, such as sewage, PCBs, and heavy metals. Less oxygen results in less organisms living in that area, which affects the food chain. Toxic substances such as radioactive waste affects the temperature, and organisms can't survive in those conditions. Organisms like zooplankton and phytoplankton start to decrease. That decreases the food supply, which damages the food chain. In Numbers 35:33, God specifically says, "You shall not pollute the land in which you live, for blood pollutes the land, and no atonement can be made for the land for the blood that is shed in it, except by the blood of the one who shed it." God was instructing Israel not to pollute the land. Persistent toxic substances are not readily broken down either by decay microorganisms, and these substances are known as biodegradable. They include many pesticides. They aren't directly used in the ocean. Pesticides and hydrocarbons are carried into the ocean by rivers, storm water, runoff, and sewage. In the ocean, they are absorbed by phytoplankton and particles that are suspended in the water and then find their way into organisms. Everyone uses pesticides to kill insects and to control weeds, and that's where the problem starts. We are polluting the land we live in, but pesticides also have saved millions from diseases and starvation. This process is killing or shedding blood on our land, and God doesn't want us to do that.